In 1974, the film Little House on the Prairie was released and created an indelible mark on the hearts of global audiences. With the story of the simple life of the Ingalls family, pioneer farmers on the land of Minnesota. In the late 19th century, the work was not only a resounding commercial success, but also became an unforgettable part of the memories of an entire generation. It is a song about courage, family affection, and the will to overcome difficulties. But behind those classic characters are actors with very unique fates. Nearly half a century has passed. Time has carved different traces on their lives. Some continue to shine brightly. Some choose a quiet path. And there are also those who had to stop their journey in tragedy. Let's look back at the ups and downs of the cast that created the soul of Little House on the Prairie. Michael Landon as Charles Ingalls. In Little House on the Prairie, the character of Charles Ingalls, or Pa, is the heart and soul of the story. With his steadfast eyes, gentle smile, and strong shoulders, Charles Ingalls left an indelible impression of an ideal father and husband. Michael Landon, then 38, brilliantly portrayed a man who faced adversity with optimism and an unwavering faith in the good things. He was not only the lead actor, but also the producer, director, and screenwriter who breathed life into every frame, transforming the pages of Laura Ingalls Wilder's book into a living legacy on screen. After the huge success of the series Bonanza, Michael Landon entered Little House on the Prairie not only as a star, but also as a true leader. He was a visionary who fought to keep the show true to the human values he believed in. After the series ended, he went on to create another classic, Highway to Heaven, where he played an angel sent to Earth to help people. This continued to be a testament to his philosophy of life and filmmaking, bringing hope and kindness to the audience. In his personal life, his life was more complicated than the perfect father image on film. He went through 3 marriages and was the father of 9 children. He was a tireless worker, a perfectionist, and sometimes quite authoritarian on set, but always respected by his colleagues for his extraordinary talent and dedication. The most interesting thing is the connection between the role and life. It seems that the role of Charles Ingalls is an idealized version of what he aspired to. While on screen, the character is a perfect father in real life. Michael Landon is a complex person, struggling to balance a huge career and a turbulent family life. But above all, the ideal of humanity, of caring and helping each other, that Charles Ingalls represents is also the message that Michael Landon has spent his entire career pursuing. However, his journey of determination and dedication had to stop abruptly. In April 1991, he was diagnosed with terminal pancreatic and liver cancer. He bravely appeared on television to share his battle. On July 1, 1991, Michael Landon passed away at the age of 54. His departure left a huge void in the hearts of millions of fans. His legacy is not only his roles, but also a life story of a man who used the power of television to spread the most beautiful messages about life. Melissa Gilbert as Laura Ingalls. In Little House on the Prairie, the character Laura Ingalls is the eyes and soul of the audience. With a strong personality, somewhat hot-tempered but always full of love, Laura left an indelible impression. The performance of the little girl, Melissa Gilbert, only 10 years old at that time, realistically and vividly portrayed the journey of a little girl growing up from naughty antics to becoming a wife and a mother. The close relationship between her on-screen father, Michael Landon, went beyond real life. He became her teacher, her second father. After Little House on the Prairie ended, Melissa Gilbert's career continued to flourish mainly through television. She successfully transformed into complex roles, notably Anne Frank in The Diary of Anne Frank and Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker. Demonstrating her versatile acting ability, she also became a powerful voice in the industry when she was elected president of the Screen Actors Guild for 2 terms. Her personal life also experienced many ups and downs. She openly shared her struggles with alcohol and drug addiction as well as her failed marriages. These experiences were recounted candidly in her autobiography, showing a strong person who was not afraid to face her dark sides. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems that the role of Laura Ingalls has strangely applied to her life. While on film, the character is a resilient person always standing up after every fall on the wild prairie in real life. Melissa Gilbert has also shown a similar warrior spirit when facing the storms of life and the harsh halo of Hollywood. The half-pint girl has truly grown into a strong woman. Today, at 61, Melissa Gilbert is continuing her acting career while finding a new direction in life. She left the hustle and bustle of Hollywood behind and moved to a farm in rural New York, where she enjoys a peaceful, simple, and natural life, one that seems to be inspired by Walnut Grove itself. Her journey is a testament to her relentless efforts and ability to find herself again after the storm. Karen Grassel as Caroline Ingalls. In Little House on the Prairie, Caroline Ingalls, or Ma, is the stalwart of the family. With a gentle smile and tolerant eyes, Caroline is the one who keeps the fire burning in the home, the one who teaches her children with love and reason. Karen Grassel's performance at the age of 32 excellently portrayed the image of a pioneer woman, both gentle and tough, who can endure all hardships for her family. Brought warmth and trust to the role, becoming a mother figure in the hearts of many generations of audiences. Before coming to the prairies, Karen Grassel was a trained stage actress, having received a Fulbright scholarship to study at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. She brought a strong artistic background to her roles. However, behind the harmonious Ingalls family on screen was a more complicated story. In her 2021 memoir, Karen Grassel revealed her strained relationship with Michael Landon, which involved salary issues and his inappropriate comments. She also bravely shared her battle with alcoholism during filming. After the series ended, she left Hollywood, moved to New Mexico, and founded a theater company, returning to her love of theater. The most interesting thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems that the role of Caroline Ingalls is a complete contrast to the storms she had to go through. While on screen, the character is a woman with a stable family life in real life. Karen Grassel had to face tough, personal and professional struggles. She was not a quiet, gentle mother, but a strong woman who had to fight for her position and voice. Today, at 83, Karen Grassel remains a vibrant woman. She has overcome her past struggles, found peace, and continues to work on film and stage projects. Her journey is a testament to the ability to overcome adversity and the courage to speak her truth. Even after many years, she has proven that a woman's strength is not just in silent suffering. Melissa Sue Anderson as Mary Ingalls. In Little House on the Prairie, Mary Ingalls is the embodiment of both docility and tragedy. With her golden hair and gentle demeanor, Mary is the pride of her family. Melissa Sue Anderson's performance at age 12 captivated audiences, especially when she had to portray one of the most difficult storylines, Mary's journey to blindness. She hauntingly and convincingly portrayed the characters, suffering despair and eventual acceptance and growth, a role that earned her an Emmy nomination. After her success as Mary, Melissa Sue Anderson continued her acting career, but she always tried to choose different roles to avoid being typecast. She participated in horror films and other television shows, showing a wider range of acting. Unlike her on-screen sister Melissa Gilbert, she was very private and kept her distance from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. She felt that being famous at such a young age robbed her of a part of her childhood. She married, had children, and eventually made the big decision to leave the United States. The most interesting thing is the connection between her role and her life. It seems that her role as Mary Ingalls influenced her life decisions. While on screen, the character had to live a challenging life and was always in the spotlight because of her circumstances in real life. Melissa Sue Anderson chose the opposite path, a peaceful life away from the public eye. She sought to protect her family from the scrutiny she had experienced. Today, at 63, Melissa Sue Anderson lives a quiet life in Canada with her family. She has become a Canadian citizen and has largely retired from the entertainment industry, only occasionally participating in small projects. Her journey is a testament to how a star can choose privacy over fame and find happiness in a normal life, far from the dramatic prairies of the past. Sydney Greenbush as Carrie Ingalls. In Little House on the Prairie, the character Carrie Ingalls was the youngest member of the family, often remembered by audiences for her adorable gestures and few lines. This role was played by twin sisters Lindsay and Sydney Greenbush. The two girls, only 4 years old at the time, brought innocence and purity to the film. The moment one of the girls stumbles while running down the hill during the opening theme song has become one of the most iconic and beloved images of television. After leaving Little House on the Prairie in 1982, the Greenbush sisters' lives took a completely different direction. They tried a few other roles, but quickly realized that their hearts were not in Hollywood. They made a decision that few child stars make. They chose to graduate from Hollywood, to pursue a normal life. They both attended high school together, graduated, and went their separate ways. Lindsay studied accounting while Sydney focused on horse training and jewelry design. They successfully escaped the shadow of their past and built a real life for themselves. The most interesting thing is the connection between the role and their life. It seems that the role of Carrie Ingalls is just a small chapter, beautiful childhood memory, not their destiny. While on screen, the characters are part of a famous family in real life. Lindsay and Sydney have strived to be normal people. They have chosen a stable education and career path instead of the uncertain spotlight. Their life is a success story in a very different way. Success in keeping the peace. Today, at 55, both Lindsay and Sydney Greenbush are living quiet lives. Lindsay has a daughter and occasionally attends fan reunions. Sydney, after a failed marriage, has found joy in her work. Their journey is a testament to the fulfilling life after leaving the entertainment world, a happy ending that not many child stars have. Catherine McGregor as Harriet Olsen. If there was one character in Little House on the Prairie that everyone loved to hate, it was Nellie Olsen, with her long, curly blonde hair, frilly dresses, and selfish, conceited personality. Nellie was the embodiment of snobbery. Allison Arngrim, then just 12 years old, played the role of the hateful Prairie lady brilliantly and boldly. The confrontation between Nellie and Laura created some of the most dramatic and humorous moments, and Allison did not hesitate to become the perfect villain to highlight the good values of the Ingalls family. After leaving Walnut Grove, Allison Arngrim didn't run from Nellie's shadow. Instead, she embraced it, turning it into part of her personal brand and a tool for laughter. She became a successful stand-up comedian, writing a best-selling autobiography, Confessions of a Prairie Bitch. But what's most remarkable about her life journey is her tireless dedication to social causes. When her co-star Steve Tracy died of AIDS, she became an activist, fighting to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS. She's also been a strong voice for protecting children from abuse, speaking openly about her own childhood trauma to help others. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems that the role of Nellie Olsen is a complete opposite of her fate. While on screen, the character is a selfish, cruel, and selfish person in real life. Allison Arngrim is a kind-hearted, humorous person who always fights for good things. She turned the hatred that the audience had for Nellie into a positive energy, a platform for charity and spreading laughter. Today at 63, Allison Arngrim continues to tour her comedy show and engage in social work. Her journey is a testament to the power of transformation, showing that one can transcend a predestined role and redefine oneself. Teaches us that even the most unlovable character can sprout extraordinary goodness. Victor French as Isaiah Edwards. In Little House on the Prairie, Nels Olesen was the embodiment of patience and quiet kindness. He was the necessary counterbalance to his wife Harriet, a voice of reason and kindness amidst the petty intrigue and calculation. Richard Bull, then in his 50s, played the role with subtlety as a man resigned, but not weak. Through his sighs and helpless but loving glances at his children, he created a character both humorous and admirable, one that everyone in the audience sympathized with and loved. Before and after Little House on the Prairie. Richard Bull had a long and respectable acting career with hundreds of roles, big and small, on television and in movies. He was a professional supporting actor, a familiar face that audiences always trusted, but the role of Nels Oleson became his greatest legacy. The most admirable thing in his life was the wonderful balance between work and personal life. He had a happy and lasting marriage of more than 65 years with actress Barbara Collentine, an extremely rare thing in Hollywood together. They went through the ups and downs of life and career, a living testament to true love. The most thoughtful thing is the connection between the role and life. It seems that the role of Nels Oleson has strangely applied to his life. While on the film the character is a devoted husband, father, a silent pillar of the family in real life, Richard Bull is also such a person. He has built a stable family, a peaceful life, and a scandal-free career. Nels Oleson's kindness and reliability are also the qualities that friends and colleagues always mention when talking about Richard Bull. But that journey of dignity and peace had to end. On February 3rd, 2014, Richard Bull passed away at the age of 89 due to complications from pneumonia. Thence passing left a huge void, as if the heart of Walnut Grove was no longer there. His legacy was not only his portrayal of a respected grocer, but also a life story of a man who lived a full, kind life and was an example of loyalty. Allison Arngrim as Nellie Oleson. In Little House on the Prairie. Harriet Oleson was a memorable villain, greedy, judgmental, and always looking to flaunt her wealth. Mrs. Oleson was the source of much trouble, and the main source of comedy. Catherine McGregor, then 49, played the role brilliantly and somewhat exaggeratedly as a woman everyone hated but couldn't help but watch. She made Harriet a complex character who wasn't just evil but also had moments of weakness, creating a classic television villain. Before becoming Mrs. Oleson, Catherine McGregor was a talented stage actress in New York. She brought her skills to the small screen and devoted herself to the role. After the series ended, she made a surprising decision. She did not pursue a career in Hollywood and gradually withdrew from the spotlight. She felt that her role as Harriet had been her peak, and she wanted to devote her time to other passions. She turned to teaching acting to children and devoted much of her time to spiritual practice. She was a devout Hindu, and it was this belief that led to a special event related to the film. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems that the role of Harriet Oleson is a complete opposite of her fate. While on the film, the character is a materialistic person, always concerned with appearance and social status in real life. Catherine McGregor is an introvert living a simple life and pursuing spiritual values. She chose a quiet path away from the noise that her character always craved. But that contemplative journey had to stop. She lived out her final years quietly at the Motion Picture and Television Fund nursing home. On November 13, 2018, Catherine McGregor passed away at the age of 93 from natural causes. Interestingly, she did not appear in the final episode of the series because she was on a pilgrimage to India. Her passing left a huge void. Her legacy was not only her portrayal of the lovably obnoxious Mrs. Oleson, but also a life story of a person who found peace by going against the very role that made her famous. Richard Bull as Nels Oleson. In Little House on the Prairie, Dr. Hiram Baker was a symbol of reassurance and dedication. He was the man the town of Walnut Grove turned to when they were in trouble, a pillar of the community who always put his patients first. Kevin Hagen, then 46, played the role of a doctor who was both professional and compassionate. With his calm demeanor and warm voice, he made Dr. Baker someone everyone would want to have in real life. Before this iconic role, Kevin Hagen was a veteran actor with a series of roles in television series, especially westerns. After Little House on the Prairie ended, he continued his acting career, but none of his roles surpassed the shadow of Dr. Baker. he made a remarkable decision to leave Hollywood. In search of a more peaceful life, he moved to Grants Pass, Oregon, and became an active part of the local theater community. He wrote and performed a monologue show about his life and career, bringing Hollywood stories to a smaller, more intimate stage. In his personal life, he was a single father for 2 decades, raising his son alone. The most thoughtful thing is the connection between the role and life. It seems that the role of Dr. Baker has been applied to his life in a beautiful way. While on the film, the character is a person who takes care of the health of an entire community in real life. Kevin Hagen is a devoted father who takes care of his small family and later an artist who contributes to the cultural life of the community where he lives. Dr. Baker's dedication is reflected in the life of the actor who plays him. However, that journey of silent dedication had to stop after a long battle with esophageal cancer. On July 9, 2005, Kevin Hagen passed away at the age of 77. His departure left a big void. His legacy is not only the image of the gentle doctor of Walnut Grove, but also the life story of a man who found meaning in service, whether on the big screen or in a small community. In Little House on the Prairie, Isaiah Edwards, or Mr. Edwards, was the embodiment of true friendship and raw strength, with his bushy beard and somewhat wild appearance, but a warm and loyal heart. Mr. Edwards left an indelible impression. Victor French, then in his 40s, brilliantly portrayed a man of depth, not just as a comic relief, but also as someone dealing with loss and his battle with alcoholism, delivering one of the series' most moving and realistic storylines. Before coming to the Prairie, Victor French was often stereotyped as a villain because of his thorny appearance. It was his close friend, Michael Landon, who saw the warmth behind that appearance and gave him this life-changing role. Their friendship is one of the most beautiful stories in Hollywood. After leaving Little House on the Prairie for a while to participate in his own sitcom, he returned. But their peak collaboration came later when he reunited with Michael Landon in the series Highway to Heaven. He played Mark Gordon, an ex-cop who accompanied the Angel, Jonathan Smith played by Landon. Their chemistry and genuine friendship once again became the soul of a successful series. The most interesting thing is the connection between the role and his life. It seems that the role of Isaiah Edwards has strangely translated into his life. While on the show, the character is an unwavering, loyal friend of Charles Ingalls in real life. Victor French is also Michael Landon's soulmate and indispensable colleague. Together, they created 2 classic series, and their friendship has become a legend, a symbol of solidarity and trust in a competitive world. But that journey of friendship and talent had to end. In June 1989, shortly after completing the final season of Highway to Heaven, Victor French passed away at the age of 54 from lung cancer. His passing was a huge shock and left Michael Landon devastated. His legacy was not only his emotional performances, but also a life story of great friendship, a testament to the fact that when 2 great souls meet, they can create miracles together. Kevin Hagen as Dr. Hiram Baker,